Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Exploring Medicò. Now today we are going to start a new subject known as pharmacology. It is an MBBS subject. Generally the BHMS, BHMS student also have the subject like pharmacy, but they have their own allied subjects like homeopathic pharmacy, Ayurvedic pharmacy, but there is an allied subject which is useful for everyone. If any homeopathic or Ayurvedic student is thinking to practice an allied medicine subject or anything, or preparing for the competitive exam or for any purposes, then you can watch this video, which will be helpful for you to gain the knowledge about drugs and medicines, because we are going to learn the subject medicine, whether it is any medical field student. So before learning the medicine subject, let your pharmacology be clear, so that it will be more helpful to you at that time to understand. Getting? So today we are going to start with the general pharmacological principles. Today we will discuss the branch of pharmacology, types, sources, nature, everything. This chapter is somewhat bit long, so we will divide in the various sections. Okay. Now, general pharmacological principles. First is pharmacology. Now, what is pharmacology? Let us start. Pharmacology is the science of drugs. Greek pharmakon means what? Drug. And logos means discourse in. Means drug, discourse in. In a broad sense, it deals with the interaction of exogenously administered chemical molecule with living systems, and any chemical substance which can produce a biological response is a drug. Any chemical substance which can produce a biological response. Biological response means any kind of changes in the body regarding the biochemical activities going on, various cycles going on. And it deals with the interaction of exogenously administered chemical substance. Exogenous means control of origin of chemical substance in a living system, which talks about the origin of chemical substances in the living system. Pharmacology encompasses all aspects of knowledge about drugs, but most importantly, those that are relevant to effective and safe use of drugs for medicinal purposes. Means pharmacology discusses about all drugs, but most importantly or most relevant means which you can take in the day-to-day use, which doctors prescribe, which effectively is used for the medicinal purpose. Mostly that drugs are discussed in pharmacology. Animal experiments, primarily aimed at understanding physiological processes, were started in the 18th century. Means to understand the physiological processes was started in the 18th century. These were pioneered by F. Magendie Claude Bernard, who also adapted them to study effects of certain drugs. In the 18th century, these both scientists have studied the effect of drugs. Pharmacology as an experimental science was ushered by Rudolf Buchmann, who founded the first Institute of Pharmacology in 1847 in Germany. So in Germany, first Institute of Pharmacology was ushered by Rudolf Buchmann. Remember all these things. In the later part of the 19th century, Oswald Schimmelberg, regarded as the father of pharmacology, together with his many disciplines like J. Lange, T. Trenzer, P. Ehrlich, A. J. Clark, J. J. Abel, propounded some of the fundamental concepts in pharmacology. Getting it? So it was just introductory part of the scientists who contributed, who came, but remember the father of pharmacology, which is enough and more. The two main divisions of pharmacology are pharmacodynamics and pharmacokinetics. Do remember these two, okay? This will be useful, and these terms will come rapidly throughout the chapters. Now pharmacodynamics, that is, dynamics means power. What the drug does to the body. Pharmacodynamics discuss what is the effect of the drug to the body. This includes physiological and biochemical effects of drugs. Do remember, okay? Physiological and biochemical effect of drug and their mechanism of action at organ system, subcellular or macromolar levels. For example, adrenaline, it will interact with the adrenoreceptors present on the adrenal gland. Then it will constitute the G protein mediated stimulation of a cell membrane bound adenyl cyclase. G protein mediated, that is guanine nucleotide protein. G protein is guanine nucleotide protein. It will stimulate the cell membrane bound adenyl cyclase and it will increase the intracellular cyclic 3,5-AMP, that is adenocyte monophosphate, AMP, adenocyte monophosphate, that is increased intracellular cyclic, that is used for signal transduction pathway as an intracellular or secondary message to hormones. So now from the adrenoreceptors to G protein, it will give an intracellular message via this cycle, and it will do the cardiac stimulation, hepatic glycogenolysis and hyperglycemia. Cardiac stimulation is related to pulse administration, which is a physiological process, and hepatic glycogenolysis is what? Glycogen breakdown to glucose, which is an biochemical process. Hence pharmacodynamics is proved. And hyperglycemia, which is also biochemical process. So physiological and biochemical. Now pharmacokinetics, that is kinesis is movement, what the body does to the drug. Now pharmacokinetics says what the body does to the body. It was what the drug does to the body. It is pharmacodynamics. Now pharmacokinetics, what the body does to the drug. Now there we learn the action. Now here we will learn the acceptance. This refers to the movement of the drug in and alteration of the drug by the body. Includes absorption of drug, distribution, binding, localizing or storage, biotransformation and excretion of drug. Biotransformation means what? It is a metabolic process that takes place in liver, where you discuss about the excretion of the product, to excrete exogenous or endogenous waste product. For example, you can see paracetamol is rapidly and at most completely absorbed orally, attaining peak blood levels, that is the highest blood level in patient when the drug is absorbed at 30 to 60 minutes, which is 25% bound to plasma proteins, widely and at most uniformly distributed in the body. So if we talk about the paracetamol, it is rapidly and at mostly completely absorbed orally, and it is the highest concentration of the drug, that is peak level, which is about 30 to 60 minutes, and 25% of the paracetamol is bound to plasma protein throughout the uniform body, and our volume distribution is approximately 1 liter per kg and extensively metabolized in the liver. Primarily like leucoronide sulfate conjunction into an inactive metabolite which are excreted in urine, has a half-life of 2 to 3 hours and clearance value of 5 mg per minute. So now we discuss about the paracetamol, that how it is absorbed and how it is excreted in the body. First is the action, that is 30 to 60 minutes via the highest clearance value excreted in the urine in the form of glucuronide sulfate conjunction. And if we talk about pharma, we discuss about the mechanisms of it. What is the drug doing in the body? Now this is the what body does when the drug is given to it. Getting it? Now drug. In French, drug is used like this as a dry herb. It is the single active chemical entity present in a medicine that is used for diagnosis, prevention, treatment or cure of disease. Drug is diagnosis, prevention and treatment of a cure. For that was drug is used. But this disease-oriented definition of does not include contraceptives or use of drugs for improvement of health, weekly tablets or pills. It does not give proper idea of it. So the WHO, World Health Organization, in 1966 has given a more comprehensive definition of drug. That is, drug is any substance or product that is used or is intended to be used to modify or explore physiological systems or pathological states for the benefit of the recipient. So what is drug? It is the modification, or it is given to the patient in the pathological conditions or any physiological disorder to benefit the recipient to get the cure from the disease. So this was the definition given of drug by WHO, which is uniformly accepted throughout. The term drugs is also being used to mean addictive, abused, or illicit substance. It also means addictive substance. Many people are addicted to drugs. Abused drugs is also there. And one is illicit. Illicit means illegal or banned. However, this restricted and regulatory sense usage is unfortunate degradation of time-honored term, and drug should refer to a substance that has somewhat health-promoting, therapeutic, or diagnostic application. So, with the time, the drug means what? Substance that has health-promoting, therapeutics, or Nevertheless, to avoid any misinterpretation, the term medicine is being employed to designate such a substance in place of drug, because many people hear the word drug and they start thinking about abused drugs or illicit drugs. So, more properly, drug is means for the promoting therapeutic or diagnostic application to cure the patient, to help the patient. So, the word drug is replaced by a medicine so that any kind of misinterpretation can be avoided. Now, other aspects of pharmacology. First is pharmacotherapeutics. It is the application of pharmacological information together with the knowledge of disease for its prevention, mitigation, and cure. Mitigation means reduce severity of drug. So it talks about how you can prevent, how you can reduce severity of drug, or how you can cure the disease. It is the pharmacotherapeutic selection of the most appropriate drug, dosage, and duration of treatment, taking into account of the stage of disease and the disease and the specific feature of patient are a part of pharmacotherapeutics. So pharmacotherapeutics includes what? Appropriate drug, dosage, and duration so that the patient can be cured. This is pharmacotherapeutics. Now clinical pharmacology. It is the scientific study of drugs, both old and new in man. Includes pharmacodynamics and pharmacokinetics, investigation in a healthy volunteer as well as a patient. It includes clinical pharmacology, includes both what does the drug does to the body and what the body does to the drug. Pharmacodynamics and pharmacokinetics. Evaluation of efficacy and safety of drugs and comparative trials with other form of treatment. Efficacy means evaluation of desired result, or result we wanted. Clinical pharmacology discuss about what will be the result of this drug, or what is the result we wanted, what is the result we expected from the drug. It also deals with the safety of the drug, and comparative trials are done, like in the vaccine various trials are done, then the vaccine is launched, and then after even the vaccine is given to the patient, they discuss some types of symptoms that after taking this or this tablet or vaccine or medicine, this kind of side effects will be there. So for clinical pharmacology discuss all these things, like pharmacotherapeutics discuss about the dosage of drug, duration of drug, like that. Surveillance of a pattern of drug use, in which way it should be used, adverse effects, etc. are also part of clinical pharmacology. These are also part of clinical pharmacology. If you take drugs so excessively, it will provide a harmful effect. The aim of clinical pharmacology is to generate data for optimum use of drug, that is for the surety use of drug, and practice of evidence-based medicine. Evidence-based medicine means EVM. Resonance, use and evidence in making decision about care of individual patient, means we have to give a resonance, use and evidence making less science, means in which you can prove that this drug has this kind of effects, or the reason behind giving these drugs. That is was evidence based medicine. Before any vaccine is given, like we can talk about Covaxin or whatever, in that also resonance was given, evidence was given, various clinical therapeutics were done. So this is all about clinical pharmacology. Now chemotherapy. It is the treatment of systematic infection or malignancy, that is malignant tumor of cancer, with specific drug that have selective toxicity. Means the drug have selective toxicity, means the poisonous effect for infecting organism, malignant with no minimal effect on those cells. So chemotherapy is what? It gives the specific drugs with the poison of effect to the infecting cells, to the infecting tumors, where the host cell has no effect of it. Otherwise the host cell will also start the destruction if the poisonous effect is given, because high toxicity can destroy any cell mechanisms or any cell system, or entire the body system. Drugs in general can thus be divided into two types. One is pharmacodynamic agents. These are designated to have pharmacodynamic effect in the recipients. And chemotherapeutic drugs. These are designed to inhibit or kill invading parasites or malignant cells, but have no minimal pharmacodynamic effect in the recipient, as we have discussed. Now next is pharmacy. It is the art and science of compounding and dispensing drugs or preparing suitable dosage forms for administration of drug to the main and role. Dispensing means authorized drugs. Pharmacy deals with the formation of authorized drug. It includes collection, identification, purification, isolation, synthesis, standardization, and quality control of medicinal substance. Do remember, first it will collect, then they will identify, then purification of drug. Isolation means in the which temperature you should store the drug. Synthesis means after the drug is taken, what will be the intake process, standardization, and quality. The large scale manufacture of drug is called pharmaceutics, which is primarily a technological principle. This we know. Now, toxicology. It is the study of poisonous effects of drug. Toxicology means what? Poisonous effect of drug. There is one subject which we will discuss, forensic medicine and toxicology. So it is a branch of pharmacology. Poisonous effect of drug and other chemical, household, environmental pollutant, industrial, agricultural, homicidal, which emphasizes on detection, prevention and treatment of poisoning. Many people try to attempt suicide. So it discusses the household remedies which you take and can have the adverse effect on your health, environmental pollutant, industrial, agriculture or homicidal. It also includes the study of the adverse effects of drugs, since the same substance can be a drug or a poison depending on the dose. Suppose paracetamol we take, the amount we are told to take, it is known as drug, or it is for the medicinal purpose. But if you take the overdose, now if it is told 3 times a day, and now if you take 10 drugs together at a time, then it will create a very good adverse effect on your body. You will also not come to know what is happening in your body. So even any drug can have a poisonous effect if you take in a maximum quantity. So always the toxicology branch deals with all these things. Now, nature of drugs. All drugs are chemical entities with simple or complex molecules, while majority are organic compounds. Some are purely organic like lithium carbonate, ferrous sulfate, magnesium hydroxide. Organic drugs may be weakly acidic like aspirin, penicillin, weakly basic, morphine, chloroquine. You can remember the examples. Or non-electro like alcohol diether. Most drugs are normally solids like paracetamol, propanol, furosemide, ampicillin, but some such as ethanol, glycerol trinitrite, propofol, kestrolol are liquid and fuel like nitrous oxide. I guess so. These are just an example of the solid, liquid and gaseous drugs. You can remember. Now the molecular weight or majority of drugs fall in the range of 100 to 1000 Dalton. D means Dalton. Remember, it's the unit of the molecular, because molecules smaller than 100 Dalton do not generally have sufficiently specific feature in terms of shape, size, configuration, chirality or distribution of charges. Whose molecular weight is less than 100 Dalton. They don't have any kind of specific distribution in the body, and to selectively bind to one and only few closer related target biomolecules or with the exclusion of others. Means if the weight is less than 100 Dalton, they will bind to a specific target tissues or the specific target receptor, but it will not have the specific configuration. On the other hand, larger molecules than 100 Dalton do not radially pass through membranes whose molecular weight is more than 1000 Dalton. That does not pass through membranes or capillaries. It acts as the barrier in the body to reach the target sites in various tissue or cells. So always the drug is made within the respected molecular weight for the effect of the drug in the body. However, few drugs are as small as lithium ion, that is several Dalton. Some like heparin are 10 to 20 kilodalton. Gonadotrophins are greater than 30 kilodalton, and enzymes, proteins, antibodies are greater than 50 kilodalton, are much bigger. Bulky molecule drugs have to be administered parenterally, means the continuous administration is needed. Drugs are generally perceived to be a chemical substance foreign to the body. That is xenobiotics. That is a chemical substance foreign to the body. It also perceive about it. Means it takes intake about it. However, many endogenous chemicals like hormones, protocoids, metabolites, nutrients are also used as drugs. Chemical congeners of these metabolites, signal molecules are important class of drugs. Chemical metabolites, the signal molecules are important class of drugs which act by modifying the synthesis, storage and degradation of the drug or the action of drug. These four principles are about the chemical metabolites, the signal molecules which modify how to synthesis a drug, storage of drug, degradation of drug or the action of drug. Now sources of drug. Drugs are obtained from variety of sources like plants. Many plants contain biologically active substances. Biologically active substance means which promote a good health. Are the oldest source of drugs. Clues about medicinal plants were obtained from traditional systems of medicine present in various parts of the world. Use of opium, belladonna, ephedra, cinchona, curacao, foxglove, sarpagandha, quingaushu has been learned from the Egyptian, Greek, Aztec, Ayurvedic, Chinese, and other system of medicine. Chemically, the active ingredients of plants fall in several categories. Now we will discuss about the ingredients of plants from where the drugs are obtained. First is alkaloids. These are alkaline nitrogenous bases having potent activity. Potent activity means strong or powerful effect. It discusses about the strong or powerful effect alkaloids and are the most important category of vegetable origin drugs. Like prominent are morphine, atropine, ephedrine, nicotine, ergotamine, resifrine, quinine, vinstrin. They are mostly used as the water soluble or hydrocolloid sulfate salts. So alkaloids all are these which have the potent activity. Remember the example of alkaloids drugs. Now glycosides. These compound consist of a heterocyclic non-sugar moiety. Non-sugar moiety means linked to a sugar moiety is one ether linkage. So heterocyclic non-sugar moiety which is ether linkage. Cardiac glycosides. Cardiac glycosides like digoxin have been are the best known glycosidic drugs. The active principle of senna and similar plant purgatives are anthraquinone glycoside. Purgative means strongly laxative in effect. Who have laxative effect? That are purgatives. Aminoglycoside, that is gentamicin, are the antibiotics obtained from microorganisms and have an amino sugar in place of sugar molecule. So these are glycosides which are used as drug. Remember the cardiac glycosides. Third one is oils. They are viscous, inflammable liquids insoluble in water, fixed volatile, and are calorie-yielding triglycerides of higher fatty acids who have more calorie-yielding and triglycerides. Mostly wide used as a food emollients. Emollients means softening or soothing effect on skin, which gives softening effect to skin. Softening skin. Example: groundnut oil, coconut oil, sesame oil, castor oil in the stimulant purgative. Essential volatile salts mostly obtained from flowers or leaves by steam distillation are aromatic or fragrant. Terpene hydrocarbons that have no food value means which is not good or which is not a healthy quantity to eat. It is an volatile oil which is obtained from flowers or leaves. They are used as flowering agent. Carminatives. Carminatives means relieving flatulence. Carminative means relieve flatulence means the we can say accumulation of gas. Accumulation of gas in GI tract. It avoids. That are carminatives. Counter irritants means what? Agent that produce superficial irritant to avoid irritation or discomfort. Counter irritants means to avoid discomfort. They are such agents which avoid discomfort by producing superficial irritant. And carminatives means fluctuances which relieve from the gastric accumulation of gas. And astringents. Astringent is a condition where skin contracts. Examples: eucalyptus oil, permanent oil, nilgiri oil, etc. Clove oil is used to allay dental pain. Menthol, thymol, camphor are volatile oils and that are solids at room temperature. So these all are form of oils. Menthol, thymol, camphor. So this was about the oils. Today we are just discussing the introductory part. Mineral oils are not the plant products but obtained from the petroleum. Liquid paraffin is a lubricant laxative. Soft and hard paraffin are used as emollient and ointment bases. That is for softening of skin. Other plant products like tannins are astringent. We have discussed earlier. Gums are demulcents. Demulcents means which avoid inflammation. That gives relief from pain or avoid inflammation. That are demulcents and acts as suspending agents. Suspending agents means we can say that avoid sedimentation. It acts as a suspending agent that avoids sedimentation in liquid dosage form. Glycerin is a viscous sweet liquid used as vehicle for gum or throat pain. Glycerin is used for gum or throat pain. Resins and balsams are used as antiseptic in and other plant products like tannins are astringent. Gums are demulcents and acts as a suspending agent in liquid dosage forms. Demulcents are in the liquid dosage form, the rest are in that. Glycerin is a viscous sweet liquid used as vehicle for gum or throat pain. I think the point came 2 times. Resins and balsams are used as antiseptic. Used as antiseptic in cough mixtures. The antimalarial drug artemisinin is a sesquiterpene endoperoxide obtained from a Chinese plant. Which is that drug? Artemisinin. Do remember that. It is used in the antimalarial drug. Used as antimalarial drug. Now animals. Though animal parts have been used as cures since early times, it was exploration of activity of organ extracts in the late 19th or 20th century that led to introduction of animal product into medicine. Which animal product can be used in medicine like adrenaline, thyroxine, insulin, liver, extract vitamin 12. Like adrenaline, thyroxine all are used as the drugs from obtained from the animal for diabetic patients, for dysfunction of liver, thyroxine in the form of TXY is thyroid, adrenal to renin insulin mechanism, antistat and few vaccines are also used for medicines. Microbes. Most antibiotics are obtained from fungi, actinomycetes and bacteria, for example penicillin, gentamicin, tetracycline, erythromycin, polymyxin B, actinomycin D, that is anti-cancerous drug. These all are obtained from fungi, actinomycetes and bacteria. Some examples like diastase from fungus and streptokinase from streptococci have a microbial source which are obtained from microbes. Vaccines are produced by these microbes. Minerals. Few minerals examples like iron salts, calcium salts, lithium carbonate, magnesium, aluminum hydroxide, iodide are used as medicinal substances. These are the medicinal sources from the minerals. Then synthetic chemistry. Synthetic chemistry made its debut in the 19th century. Is now the largest source of medicines. Synthetic drugs have the advantage of purity and uniformity. Uniformity is the same distribution, similar distribution. They can be manufactured in any quantity as per need and the contrast to drug from natural source whose availability may be limited. So you can, in the natural source, if the availability is not there or if there is a shortage, then you can make it synthetically, that like the insulin is made. Not only diverse conjures of naturally obtained drugs, atropine, substituent, adrenergic beta 2 antagonists, synthetic glucocorticoids, progestin and cephalosporins have been introduced to achieve greater selectivity of the action or novel type of activity. So these all are the naturally obtained drugs from the diverse conjures. Diverse conjures means small amount of chemical is added in all these. These are the example of the drugs which have the greater selectivity of the action and novel type activity, and mainly entirely synthetic family of drugs which is completely synthetic without any chemical adding, without any conjures. It is benzodiazepines, thiazides, benzimidazoles, fluoroquinolones, etc. have been produced. Many drugs are being synthesized to target specific biomolecules like SC inhibitors, glycoprotein 2B and 3A receptor antagonists, HIV reverse transcriptase inhibitors. These all are the drugs obtained from the biomolecules. Synthetic drugs that are chiral can also be produced as a single active enantiomer product which may be therapeutically superior. Chirality means the opposite action which have the enantiomer product which are similar in the form. And now the last topic of the today's video is biotechnology. Several drugs, especially peptides and proteins, are now produced by recombinant DNA technology. Like example, human growth hormone, human insulin, etalplase, interferon, monoclonal antibodies, regular peptides, erythropoietin, and other growth factors are the newer drugs of biotechnological origin. These are formed biotechnologically in which the human body is not able to make them naturally. Like insulin is, suppose it is the patient of diabetes and insulin is not formed properly. So this type of drugs are given. Or if the patient of diabetes mellitus, then we give such type of injections for the absorption of the excessive water. Protein therapeutics is rapidly expanding because specifically designed and customized protein can be now produced. So it has been used more to design and customize as per the requirement of drugs. So this was all about today. Do like the content, subscribe the channel in case of any doubt. Ask in the comment section. We have today just completed the introductory part. We will continue with this and we will complete the entire series of the pharmacology, and I am trying to provide the best content. You can directly use these as your notes. You can note down in your books or you can keep on revising. Thank you.